Night's debate taking direct aim at Donald Trump. He joins us right now from the Reagan Library in Simi Valley, California. Governor, I thought that CNN turned that debate into fight night. Were you comfortable with the way they handled the debate? That's my first question.
Well, as I mentioned early on, I said let's actually talk about issues. It was a lot about personalities early on. They were trying to pit one candidate against the other. I think most Americans wanted to hear what were we going to do, what were we going to do, not how bad things were, not how bad your opponent was, but rather how you're going to make life better for most Americans. And that's what I tried to keep coming back to and talking about.
Did you have a breakthrough moment, do you think? Did you have a breakthrough statement, a breakthrough issue that you can tell us about now that you think was your breakthrough moment?
Well, clearly, it's the one I think you just played and others have played, and that was we put the contrast out there. I point out, looking at Mr. Trump when he had attacked on some other issues, that we need to talk about the issues, and we didn't need an apprentice in the White House. We have an apprentice in the White House, someone who's never been tested, someone who years ago, when he ran, Barack Obama ran, he said all sorts of wonderful things that many Americans liked, but we realize he's never actually run anything in government before. We don't need that. We need someone who has been tested. That's exactly what we bring to the table. We've been tested unlike anybody else up on that stage last night, and we've got real plans for doing things like repealing Obamacare and taking on big government labor unions.
You know, there's news out this week that the median income, the income of middle America, has actually gone down 6.5% during the Obama years. That was never featured last night in the debate. I don't think we ever got to that point. That was disappointing for a lot of people. You couldn't break through on that, Governor?
Well, it's one of those where you're right. There are a lot of personality questions. We actually thought they might even ask us about income inequality because the left brings it up. I would have loved to point that out. I was ready to point out what you just mentioned, which is income inequality has actually gone up under Barack Obama's economy. Poverty, sadly, has gotten worse. Income has gone down. You look at this, and Barack Obama's policies have largely laid into that. And who's going to take care of that? Hillary Clinton, someone who she and her husband, Bill Clinton, made $25 million last year. That's not the answer out there. It's to have a plan to get government out of the way, not to grow Washington and the government in Washington, but rather get government out of the way. It starts with repealing Obamacare on day one, to put patients and families back in charge of their health care. I'm the only one on that stage who actually has a plan to do that. Starting on day one, I'd not only send the plan up to Congress, I'd sign an order to make Congress live under the same rules as everyone else out there. You start doing that, you can start to rein in the regulations, reform the tax code, do the things that actually help the economy going forward, and then you'll lift everyone up.
I got a feeling that from here on out, the issues and policy will take much more of a center stage than the personality and the approach of Donald Trump. I got a suspicion that last night was something of a turning point. How are you doing for money, may I ask? You doing okay? I mean, have you got enough to stay in and fight all the way through?
We do. We're ready to go through Iowa. For us, it's all about organization. We just announced this week 99 county chairs in Iowa. I believe that's the first campaign to do that. For us, it's about getting down to the grassroots. In a state like Iowa, it's all about turnout. In a caucus state, you're talking about literally just a few thousand votes will win that caucus, and it's really for us to be in the fight right now, and we're ready to do it. We're organized right down to the grassroots level. We're committed throughout the campaign, and I think when we win Iowa, we're going to do well going forward.
Governor Scott Walker, did you get any sleep at all last night? I saw you in the room right afterwards. All
Not much.
How'd you do it?
We worked it quite a bit, and then actually went out for some cheese curds after. I had some cheese curds and a beer afterwards, so I had a very Wisconsin night at the end of everything. But it's good to be up and early with you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. We do appreciate you being with us this morning. Governor Scott Walker, thank you, sir.
Thank you.